folks, as many of you know, I'm looking into PCC for USPSA. I've only shot one match. Unfortunately, my SIG optic failed me on this rifle, so I'm gonna shoot this again. I just picked up a new optic for it, a Holosun 510C green, and I have a 510C green on my Scorpion, and some mods to these guns. So first of all, I got to sight him in, but I've got a CMC 3.5 pound trigger that I've put quite a few rounds through in testing, and it's flawless, working great. So we'll see if that continues. Upgraded the pistol grip, put a foregrip on it, some pop-up sights. We won't call them iron sights because they're plastic, but you get the drift. And a scope, and sling, which I'll take off for competition. And then on the CZ, what I've got on this in terms of mods is safety delete on the other side so it doesn't gouge your hand, HBI, a HBI extended charging handle, and I did the HBI springs and polished the components. That was a pain in the butt because my trigger is the welded trigger pack, which is why I got this for such a deal. But I was able to fix that with the HBI trigger kit and weld out the parts and put in new parts, and I've got this down to a respectable light trigger pull. I'll include information in the video on that. And then this one, as I said, saying around 3.5 pounds on its trigger pull. So I want to say there's about a pound difference. This is a little heavier over here, but equally configured in terms of Holosun. And so I want to run this because I haven't run it since the trigger mods, which I did a long time ago, which tells you how busy I've been. And I want to run this to sight in the Holosun and just see how it runs. So anyway, here we go. Taking the target on the left. Shots. Oh my. Very far to the left. Height is almost perfect. Alright, I moved it quite a few clicks just to see what we get out of it. So let's see here. I can lower that intensity on that dot. Holosun 510C is an outstanding optic for the price. If you wait for the green ones to go on sale, you can get them for as low as $270 range. Different outlets, especially around Christmas time. I've got 3 of them. Just didn't move hardly at all. I mean, it moved, but man, gotta move it quite a bit more. The only complaint about the optic is that the clicks on this are not very pronounced. Just did 10 clicks over. Don't know if that's even going to be enough. Maybe it's too much, we'll see. Seems like an awful lot. Nah, I'm gonna leave it. Alright, I just want to see where I'm hitting at 25 on paper, on steel. Okay. Dang it, I knew I missed that one. Stuck in the back. What's the deal? Don't like that. Let's try it again. Okay, Scorpion is not acting right. She wants safe and do it again. Third time. Trigger is sticking. Pretty sure the spring changes I did on the Scorpion need to be looked at. Clearly something came out because the sticker, the trigger is sticking back, which means that there's a spring issue. So I'll fix that. But in the meantime, I'll just close out with the ammo that was in that gun and this one. One high, 145. Slow it down, Dave. 136. $139. $136. $133, but missed one. Missed two. $134. That feels funny. $140. Should be almost out. $138. And it's been a lot of rounds through this bad boy today. The glasses are all getting messed up. Okay. Headshot's about where I thought. I was aiming a little higher. That's good. That'll split the difference. Since we're out here, I thought I'd go ahead and clean this bad boy too. This is my FX-9. If you've been to the channel, you know I've had this for a little while and I've shot it quite a bit. The newest addition to this rifle is the Hollow Sun. I just can't say enough about the optics. The Hollow Sun 510C, just all around incredible optic to me. I don't know if you can get much of a view of that whatsoever. It's always hard to see when you're looking through the camera, but outstanding optic and just a great field of vision, if you can see that. Let's see if you can see that optic a bit longer there. And I mean, just a great overall setup. Looks great profile wise on the rifle, and just love the way it runs. So go ahead and power that bad boy off. There it goes. And I did want to show you, since we're looking at triggers, did make some mods to this one as well. So I added a different grip, Hogue grip. This comes with a pretty much a mil-spec setup, and you can't get the ones with the tangs on the back because they won't work on this lower. So I bought the Hogue. Feels good, works great. Left this stock, left the stock. Threw on some Magpul flip-up sights. Put in a CMC 3.5 pound flat trigger, which is incredible. I've put, I want to say 600 rounds plus through it with that trigger, and not a problem. You know, threw in the quick attach points so I can run a sling on it. Threw on a foregrip, you know, so I can get up there for competition shooting. I like the pistol grip on most of my AR rifles, but for my PCC rifles, I prefer this to get, you know, that maximum platform and distance from my left and right arms to support the platform of the rifle. But you know, I'll see if I go to a pistol grip or not. Might prefer the pistol grip for PCC for all I know. Just haven't set one up that way yet. But anyway, so those are the upgrades, and what I wanted to show you is the incredible trigger, and give you a kind of an idea what that 3.5 pound CMC trigger does for the rifle. So why did I get the why did I get the CMC trigger and not something else? Well, I saw on a forum that one of the guys had put this scope coat back on to protect it when I clean it. Got the on one of the forums I saw, one of the guys reported successfully running this trigger. A lot of guys that had problems with some of the guys, you know, some of the other triggers out there, some of the you know, various makers, and but a guy had reported that he ran the CMC just fine. So I thought, you know, hey, they're on sale, I'll throw one on, why not? And threw the trigger on, you know, thinking, hey, if it doesn't work, I'm just gonna put it on one of my modern sporting rifle AR platform bad boys and move on. And you know, at the end of the range session, quite a few rounds through the gun, not a single problem, not a light primer strike, not a single issue. So I was happy with that. And so I just want to give you kind of an idea. Now this has got quite a few rounds through it. 2.13, 2.88, 1.15, 2.51, and another pull, 2.52 for an average of 2.38. So I would tell you guys, you know, it says it's a 3.5 pound trigger. I get 3.5 pounds on my M4 pattern rifles and on my piston rifle. On this rifle, it was coming in around sub 3 pounds when I first got it, just a little over 3 pounds. Like I said, I've put, you know, 600 rounds through it at least since I got the trigger. You know, the rifle has more than that through it, and you know, it's an incredible trigger. I mean, you can see the movement. That's it. And that's dirty. So, and these get dirty. PCC. As I can show you just from the magazines. That's just from the carbon blowing around the sides of the firearm as you shoot it. I mean, they get dirty. So, but anyway, I wanted you to see that, get an idea on the trigger pull, and you know, I did get the Scorpion out. Figured out what was wrong with it. It was having a dead trigger. There was a spring that was not correctly installed. At least that's what I hope it was. I fixed the spring. Did about 50 dry fires last night, and could not reproduce the issue. When I took the trigger pack off, I saw exactly where the problem was, and so I still have to get the Scorpion back out and run some rounds through it, just to make sure it's functioning. But this one is sighted in with the new Holosun. The Scorpion runs the Holosun. I was hoping yesterday to get a run through of the two PCC carbines side by side, because of the trigger pack problem. You saw what happened there. So long story short, I will get the Scorpion out and run some rounds through it in the near future, and make sure it's functional and get some timing and show you. But just in my initial shooting of it, before I started getting the dead trigger consistently. And by the way, you can run the gun without getting the dead trigger 100% of the time, which that was the problem I think that I ran into. I ran a magazine through it and didn't have the dead trigger. Then I started getting it, and when I ran the gun in dry fire, when I got off the range, I could repeatedly get no dead trigger and then get a dead trigger, and saw what was happening with the spring. So when I clean that gun, I'll show you what I meant. But the long story short here is that I'm leaning towards this one, the FX-9, as my primary PCC. The rifle's good, real happy with the rifle, happy with the accuracy, happy with the way it runs. The trigger now is phenomenal. The optic is great. The biggest reason I like the FX-9 over the Scorpion right now is because I am used to these kind of controls. I'm used to this mag release. I'm used to this kind of safety. I'm used to the way this rifle runs, because I'm used to these rifles. And so the Scorpion runs differently, and I'll have to see if that's a detriment or not, when I run it through its first match. But as far as the platforms go, this one's light, easy to maneuver. That one's heavy. That one has way less felt recoil, if there's such a thing in a PCC rifle carbine, but way less recoil, almost zero muzzle flip, and yet I could get this on target faster, or at least to hold it on at 25 yards, hold it to steel with rapid fire. So who knows? I'll see how the Scorpion runs after I get it up and running, but or after I get it up there and test it, make sure it's good to go. And again, as always, thanks for stopping by.